Amnesty International's new boss, Kumi Naidoo, has appealed to South Africa to give the families of the Marikana victims justice and compensation. The first South African to head the London-founded body, Naidoo says he'll prioritise the continent and take on US President Donald Trump.
A bittersweet homecoming, Amnesty International's new boss has South Africa on his radar.
The day Marikana happened, I was in the Russian Arctic. I was hanging off an oil rig doing a protest against climate change and what's happening with expansion, and I missed the news completely. It is a pathetic failure of our government that 6 years later that they have not addressed the question of decent reparations and accountability. So for us as Amnesty, we focus primarily on the accountability side up to now, meaning that those that gave the orders, those that were responsible and so on need to be held accountable, because see, part of the problem that we have not only in this case but in many other cases is that we are institutionalizing a culture of impunity.
Inspired by former President Nelson Mandela, he headed Greenpeace, an environmental NGO where he was famous for climbing oil rigs in the Arctic to attract international attention, and Africa Rising, that seeks to hold leaders on the continent accountable.
We chose first to come and announce him from South Africa because this is the place where, as an early young man at 15 years, he was part of the apartheid movement, and he did get expelled from school for actually organizing a rebel within his school, or a revolt. And so we felt that coming here, we're looking back at the place where he got his courage, and he stood for human rights, or rights of the people at that early stage.
His priorities include Zimbabwe, the Middle East, and United States President Donald Trump.
There are far too many countries in the world where we've been seeing a slippage, including in countries that supposedly are promoters of democracy, such as the United States, when we have to deal with the absurdity of President Donald Trump's presidency, for example. The thing that has caused the greatest pain is his approach to immigration, the way he has separated families at the border. This is one of the worst human rights crimes you can do. The impact on young children being taken away from the parents at that age.
Naidoo warns young people not to wait to be leaders of tomorrow, but to lead peaceful civil disobedience today, like he did when he was 15. Ntakwana Ngatani, SABC News, Johannesburg.